This is a bit of a different angle, isn't it? Mainly because my computer crapped out and decided to get into an automatic repair loop. That's useful and helpful. Now, I did have 3 or 4 videos that I want to record today, and they may still happen. This may not go out. You will know when you see it, basically. But I'm doing this as an insurance because I couldn't do one on the day because of how my schedule is, so really a week after the finale is the closest I can do. I don't want to leave it longer than that because it'll get out of people's zeitgeist kind of thing, and no one will watch it, and what's the point then? So, yeah, with this weird change in quality, let's talk about WandaVision, directed by Matt Shakman, starring Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, Tiona Paris, Kat Dennings with a wonderful return, Randall Park, and of course Catherine Hahn in a great turn as Agnes. Honest, not Agatha Harkness, no. But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part, just as a quick sort of back-of-the-box blurb. I found some elements annoying, I found some elements really good, I found some particular elements really, really fan-servicey in the end. I didn't like how certain things were set up one way and then mishandled, shall we say. But let's go into it in detail. So from the start, yes, I love the setup, I love the premise, like even the trailers I was poring over and everything like that, like a lot of us, supposing things and hoping for certain things and maybe drawing connections that weren't there in the end and making connections that were something entirely different to what they intended, and that's fine. I love doing that. But when it came to it actually being screened, I was going to sit on it for a while. I was actually going to sort of binge it all in one go and then give this kind of video at the end. But I saw a video that was on something entirely different that gave a Mandalorian spoiler. It wasn't a video on The Mandalorian. I hadn't seen The Mandalorian Season 2, still haven't. I know about the spoiler, unfortunately, because of a video that wasn't about it. And I was like, this could happen with WandaVision. Because people are like, oh, it's a few months ago, we've been in lockdown, you've got plenty of time. There's reasons. I need to catch up on other things before watching The Mandalorian. I know you can watch it without those things, but for my peace of mind, I want to see it properly. So I was like, right, I need to do this so I don't have anything spoiled. I want to see this without anything like that happening again. So I think I binged the first 3 or 4, and then I was on the weekly schedule like everyone else. And I was avoiding going on social media to even talk about it because, like I say, I didn't want to spoil it for other people who were saving it all up. And I was enjoying it for the first sort of 5-6 episodes. I really was going along and like, yeah, I love this idea of like the sitcom, and then finding out what that actually means in the real world, where we get introduced back to Kat Dennings' character of Darcy Lewis, who thankfully isn't just this annoying thing who can't say Mjolnir correctly.
Mjolnir? What's Mjolnir?
And, all these different things coming back, and I loved it, and the introduction of Monica Rambeau now as an actual woman, and seeing what happened after the snap or the blip, seeing how people are dealing with that, seeing how, these people have come back and just don't know that anything's happened. They don't know that 5 years have passed without them. And I like seeing that. But I do think that, obviously, we couldn't have kept it going as, it's a sitcom every week. There are 9 episodes. They started, in the 50s with sitcoms, and it was basically a decade every episode. It just obviously couldn't happen. And it was almost guaranteed the last few episodes were going to be the big finale that we've come to expect in Marvel. But I really didn't enjoy the big finale as much as I would like. I didn't have the reactions of certain nerdy directors, shall we say. And I love the themes, I love the stories they were telling. I loved how we got to go back into Wanda's history, finally. We got to see how grief is just love persevering. And I love that, and the fact that Wanda hasn't really properly grieved for a lot of these people. But it just became very generic in the end to me because of that. It just became another Marvel movie, but extended over 9 hours, give or take, of TV. And that was a problem. That was not what I signed up for. And yes, okay, I signed up for a Marvel series, so of course it was going to go a certain way, probably. But that isn't what was pitched to me. And I know they had a story they were wanting to tell, that, there was a whole arc that they had to get through. But as it got closer towards the end, I felt that this was just set up for Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2. With a few elements, obviously, yes, of dealing with Wanda's history, but basically setting her up to now be officially the Scarlet Witch in the MCU, so we can move forward with Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home, I think it's called. You'll correct me, I'm sure, below. And that's it. It disappointed me at the end. Another disappointment I had was I loved the Evan Peters reveal. That was brilliant. I loved it. But they chickened out at the end to me. He could have been just a generic guy in the town, as they lent on. But why would you pick that actor? And this is something that I think they did in a big way twice. They had Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in the Fox X-Men films. And they made him a version of Quicksilver on the surface, but then he was just a guy who lived there. They chickened out. They could have gone, this is how we introduce the X-Men. We bring a version of her brother from a different universe in, and he's actually that one that we've seen. I mean, yes, he would have to be displaced in time as well because of when they were happening. That's fine. But yeah, fold that in, and that gives us the mutants. I mean, yes, they've kind of given us the in because Wanda's powers didn't exclusively come from the Mind Stone, we find that out. But obviously that's a retcon because now they have the right to make her a mutant or whatever they choose to do. But that was a chicken out, and the Paul Bettany thing, and I know this was kind of more done for humour, I think, but again, it's Marvel doing a thing where they're like, oh, look, you've got to watch this thing because we've got our actors saying all this, that, and the other. You know, they set things up so it seems one way to drum up hype, and then you find out that Paul Bettany really wanted to basically work with himself. That was the actor he was so excited to share screen time with, which, granted, unless you're doing something like The Parent Trap, which of course was referenced in an earlier episode, we should have seen that coming. You know, it doesn't happen very often to an actor, does it? So, fair enough, we were duped by that one. A lot of stuff, like I say, I did love. The whole Agatha reveal was great, and her backstory, and Agatha All Along as a song is just brilliant with the Devil's Interval and everything like that. Beautiful. I love it. If you haven't seen a video talking about the Devil's Interval with Agatha All Along, I might find one and put it in the description below, who knows. But, like I say, there's a lot of potential here that I think was squandered at the end, and it gave us some wonderful heartfelt moments. Like, the end was really sad, granted. I'm not saying I hated it, and I didn't feel sad at the end when she basically lost her family because she had to give everyone else in the town their life back. You know, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. It was very much that. It was very much Star Trek in my Marvel, which is great. But just because I felt the sadness and I enjoyed that, for want of a better word, I appreciated that. Doesn't mean I thought it was the best way to end. And like I say, I think the last sort of couple of episodes were just, let's wrap this up and set up what's coming down the line. And I didn't like it for that. It just soured the rest of the experience. And I know I did a video recently about, you know, new things don't sour old things, but this is one series. So when the end of a series doesn't give you a satisfying conclusion, it does affect the entire series, to me. But yeah, WandaVision was mostly enjoyable. It had some great moments. It had, you know, some great laughs and great, you know, sort of emotional beats, like I say. But there could have been more. There could have been better. And I really hope that the Falcon and Bucky show, to borrow from Nerdist and Casey there, you know, and Loki and things like that, don't do the same thing where it's just like, here's just some setup for the next films, because I think while I've been, you know, quick to not appreciate that, I think they will get backlash over time, or I'd hope so anyway. I hope people don't just keep swallowing whatever they're sort of churning out. But that's it, I think, that I want to say about WandaVision. It's a weird setup. I'm very self-conscious about this. It's making me feel very weird. It's why I'm a bit more scatterbrained than usual, which, okay, isn't much for me, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to say about WandaVision, like I say. So until next time, where hopefully I'm not on a phone screen, as always, thank you for watching, and take care, and make sure your computers are up to snuff, please.